to work. I came to slay. Countdown to the beat drops. True queens don't play. I came to work. Drag, slay, work, work. Hit the stage. Hard queens don't play.
Yeah. Stand up to bullies.
Once upon a time in a faraway land, Monique Popoff appeared with a book in her hand. She said, "I've got receipts. The tax time is here." While her friends looked real shook and shivered with fear. They were nervous of this book, had no idea what they'd hear. Screenshots, phone numbers, raw truth, oh my dear. They did so much dirt, families they tried to tear. But the reckoning is coming, Judgment Day is near.
Okay, promo.
I had to slide on there.
Wait, this is not the normal promo. I see slow walking. What is happening?
We gearing up.
As I get myself together, I'm
Right
struggling.
at time.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness. Yes. All right. Look, we ain't gonna waste no time because today we are talking cancel culture. What's up, Boss Squad? Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. Mary, I see you, my amazing moderator. And look, y'all go ahead and hit that like button right now because y'all gonna like this. So look, I am excited about our lineup tonight. Jay, what do you think about cancel culture? Because I really want to get deep off into it. And I know this is probably going to be like a part 2 situation because we can go on and on for days with this one.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings, honestly.
Okay.
I feel like it's a real thing, but at the same time, I feel like we'll get into it. We'll just get into it.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? Everybody up in the chat. I see y'all. Let's go ahead and introduce the lineup. It's the amazing one and only DJ Richie Skye.
We in the building. What's going on, y'all?
We gotta figure out, we gotta get a DJ or something so that they can just play music as everybody's coming in.
Okay.
Yes,
My intro music.
I'm so excited to have Miss Bondy Blue back in the building.
Hey.
Hi. Yes. And then y'all know my sis right here, always coming through, looking amazing, right, Monica?
Hey y'all, hey everyone. I got all dressed up tonight too.
I love it.
Hey Bondy. Hey Richie. Hey Jay.
Thank you so much for stopping on by today once again. And drum roll, we got Funky Dineva.
Hey
everybody. Hey Monica.
Hey
Bondy.
The team is here. We have the best of the best tonight, and I'm so excited to get into it. Everybody go ahead and hit that like button. We got over 100 people here right now. Hit the like. Make sure y'all subscribe, and make sure y'all subscribe to everybody that is on the stage right now. Everybody has a YouTube. Jay has his Instagram. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Even if you don't watch the video, just scroll on down and hit like on all the videos, y'all. Okay. Hashtag be a Monique. How about that?
That's right. Be a Monique. Yep. I love it.
Yes. So this is funny. So before we get into the cancel culture talk, I think this is kind of going to segue right into it because a few months ago, after the RHOP reunion, a lot of people were talking about canceling Bravo, and I've been very silent about it. So I think we'll segue right into it. But what were y'all thoughts on last night's This Is Us? So for those who didn't see it, my phone just started blowing up. I got people texting me. Then I had people hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram, tagging me in posts. And they're like, oh, you're on This Is Us. You're on This Is Us. I'm like, wait, what? Which I used to watch the show faithfully. I was always watching This Is Us. And I just haven't really been watching TV much lately anyway. So I was like, all right, let me check it out. And it was a clip from our show when we had to sit down with Karen at Karen's house with all the ladies after the fight happened. And it was at that moment where I didn't really have any remorse. I didn't have time to process the fight. So I was just being absolutely real. And then Kevin whispers into his newborn baby's ear and says, don't be a Monique. So immediately I was like, oh, shoot, let me go ahead and start promoting Mila Eve. Let me jump on here and show by the time and take advantage of this moment. But I want to know, what were y'all's honest thoughts? Like, if y'all saw it, what were y'all thinking? There were so many mixed reviews in the comments and mixed emotions, and people started hashtagging Team Monique, Being Monique. So I hashtagged it. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. What do y'all think?
I thought it was funny, and I don't know. When I saw it, I feel like the context was supposed to be shady per se, but I feel like it was funny. Honestly, it was. You're the type of person who can take a joke, so I feel like maybe they took that into consideration. I personally just wanted to know like the timestamp of when that episode was filmed, because it could have been like a retaliation because they're mad that you're no longer going to bring in the viewers. Like, what was the reason for that particular scene and for your name to be brought up? That's just my only question.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was funny. It was cute.
I think it's free promo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, look at it like that.
I think it's really, it's not easy. People think it's easy to get on TV. It's not easy to get on TV, yet alone a big four network during prime time. There are people who don't even know what Monique is and going to be looking up what is a Monique, what's all this hoopla. It was just a great placement. I mean, and of all the shows, somebody felt touched in their soul to take that clip. I think it's an honor, to be honest.
I think it's iconic. I love the show. I review the show. The show in itself is iconic. So the fact that they took that little snippet of you in our shirt, girl, and put you up there on the screen, even with the little shade that he threw, like it didn't even matter. I was just like, oh my God, Monique's on This Is Us. And I think that that's the feeling overall. And that's the vein we should keep it in at the end of the day, because I ain't seen none of them other heifers getting that much screen time. Shout out to Miss Wendy Osefo for getting her little screen time. I see she's trying to get on a talk. Good luck. But I think it's great.
Monique, I thought it was epic. Really and truly, it was an epic moment. I was proud of you. I was like, go, Monique. And then somebody brought it to my attention, like, wait a minute, are they throwing shade at Monique? Girl, just ride the wave. It's free, like DJ Richie said, it's free publicity. I mean, to millions of viewers, right? People who don't even watch our HOP. And the fact that they still have you on their mind speaks volumes. They still thinking about you. They can't stop thinking about you.
Taking up space in their head. I love it. So thank you, Marcella, for the super chat. She said this panel is fire. Hit the like button, show the love. Get some Mila Eve too. I love it. Thank you. Yes. I honestly didn't really think much of it. I was just like, oh, that was pretty cool. Because that's such a huge show. I was like, wow, that's pretty dope, So I didn't really care about whatever message or Tony were given. I just was like, let me go ahead and drop this Binder Time promo right now. Let me go ahead and post something immediately and make sure that if people are trying to search for me, they will find Tea with Monique. They'll find Not for Lazy Moms. They'll find Mila Eve Essentials. I got a bunch of orders all through the night. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So it was good. I woke up this morning like, whoa, I just got another wave, because this past weekend I had over 200 orders I was fulfilling all weekend. My kids work.
What's funny, speaking to that point, I didn't mean to cut you off. I did a maybe 2-minute scene on Married to Medicine the other night where Dr. Heavenly fixed my teeth. And she texted me the next day. She said, based on that scene alone, I got 70 new appointment inquiries. And my office people are calling saying the phone is ringing off the hook because they showed my before and after and her doing my mouth. So the power of TV when it comes to marketing and advertising, like especially when it's free marketing and advertising that you didn't have to pay for, that exists in perpetuity on rerun after rerun, like you couldn't beat it.
Yes. Look, turn that lemon into lemonade.
Absolutely.
For real. I'm all for it. No, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, hey, I take it. I'll take it. Let me go ahead and keep on doing what I'm doing. Keep pushing my projects. I'm jumping right on that bandwagon.
Well, that's fine.
Yes. All right. Well, look, let's go ahead and get into the talk. I'm really excited about this topic. As soon as I thought of it, this was a month ago I hit y'all. And I was like, can we do cancel culture? Because I think it's huge. Because here's two things we have going on. You have a situation where if somebody does or says something that's not right, everybody automatically crucifies them, puts them up on the cross. It's like, oh, we're taking contracts. We're taking all kinds of gigs from you. And nobody can even hear from the person. Nobody knows if they're truly remorseful, if they've gone through a process, have they changed their ways? We don't know anything. And then all of a sudden that person is like done with, and we've done moved on. Then the other side of it is for the people who know that their actions are going to be looked at and be canceled possibly. Now they're given these disingenuous apologies and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so remorseful. Then they start throwing money at the situation. Let me pay for this charity. Let me donate to the BLM movement, you know, all of that. So then you don't know who's being genuine, even when they come back and they do apologize. So that's always the first thing I think about when it comes to cancel culture. But I kind of want to hear from y'all, and we can just kind of fire off however y'all want to do it. Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Excellent panel. I'm here for it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Who wants to take a stab at it first?
Well, I took the liberty of bringing up the definition of cancel culture.
Okay.
So it says cancel culture is a modern form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, whether it be online, on social media, or in person. Those who are subject to this ostracism are said to have been canceled. So let's
thank you for the definition.
and ask me how many times I've been canceled.
How many?
There was like a year when I was getting canceled like every 2 months. The biggest cancellation scandal I had was when I called Blue Ivy ugly in a comedy bit or whatever. And I woke up, and it was a show in DC, as a matter of fact. And the only people I was talking to was the people in the room. Wake up the next day, it's on every radio station, every urban, whatever. Comedian calls Blue Ivy ugly. He needs to be canceled. And now, folks are just going in or whatever the case may be. And, Monique, to add another layer to what you were saying about cancel culture, because it is so layered, social media gives people the ability to feel like there's something, and it gives them a false sense of power when they have none. Because the reality of the situation is, and I can talk my big shit because I've been canceled so many times. There's a nan soul behind a Twitter or Instagram or Facebook account with 2 thumbs that has the power to cancel anyone. Normally, you making noise on your Instagram and you're expressing outrage, but the reality of it is most of y'all too damn stupid, too lazy, and don't have the resources nor follow through to cancel any damn body. Real canceling somebody involves somebody really doing something worth being canceled that really crosses some bridges on some contracts that causes advertisers to pull out of some shit. An opinion, naivete, thoughts that vary from yours are not worthy of being canceled. Rape, yes. Calling people niggas, yes. But the reality of the situation is you people on social media, while you think you've done something, you really don't have that much power. Margaret from Detroit that works at the DMV.
So wait, before y'all go, I want to answer this. Love and Hip Hop said, Monique, have you ever canceled Funky? Now there was a season where Funky went in on me. I think it was season 3. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Funky from the time I ever watched his show. And my first season, he was definitely Team Monique. But even there was times where you checked me even then. Check me season 3. And I didn't get mad because I said he's going off of what he sees on the show. I never stopped talking to Funky. There were times where we would message in a DM and Twitter and just having a little small chat or small talk. And no, never canceled him. And we're good. So I'm not a sensitive person. Like, it doesn't bother me when people say something about me that they believe to be true. Like it doesn't do anything to me. So I appreciate people's just opinions. Like I appreciate opinion. And that's the thing that scares me about just the whole cancel culture mindset is that it kind of takes away from freedom of speech. Like you're no longer able to have an opinion. You're no longer able to voice what it is you want to say. And then you get to a point where now you're scared to say whatever because you think that people are going to judge you or try to throw you under the bus for simply having an opinion. We're not all supposed to walk around with the same thought process or the same mind. We're different for a reason, and we should appreciate people's differences. So
if it helps at all, cancel culture is really kind of fickle, and it's more of a momentary pause than anything else. From what I've learned from just doing this, YouTube thing and just sort of giving commentary, it seems like people want to cancel something every other day. But then about 30 days later, okay, after 3, 4, 5, 6 other cancellations, they kind of have forgotten about the original cancellation from 30 days prior to.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's
Absolutely.
real fickle.
It is fickle.
I was going to say, there's one thing to jump on a social media bandwagon, and then there is another to feel something in the pit of your soul. Like when something really, if you're a rape survivor and somebody makes an off-color comment about rape, it's gonna hit you a different way than it's gonna hit me. You know what I'm saying? So I might hit my Twitter fingers and say, "Oh, he was wrong for that," but I'm still gonna go out and buy that CD because, like Richie said, 7 days later, y'all are on to the next thing. Much like yourself, in this business, I've had to learn, and this is not disrespect, but the average American is stupid and has the attention span of a kindergartner. And that's just the truth. They have their fangs sank in one thing, you tease them with a carrot over here, and they completely forget.
And to that point, so I got a story for y'all that ties into this. So today I read that there's a grocery store that's opening in Central City, which is a underserved area for grocery stores, right? So Master P gets in cahoots with the Rouse's people so that they can open this grocery store. Now, mind you, the backstory is one of the co-owners in the Rouse grocery stores was at the Capitol on January 6th. So a lot of us who live down here, myself included, said, I'm not going there anymore. Like, I can't go along with that. Okay, so we start going to another store. So now they're like, oh, our answer to that is to call Master P, who's going to come in and give a speech and shame you for the cancel culture, you know? And I got so pissed off about it because I was like, it's one thing to cancel a celebrity for saying an off-brand or disrespectful comment. It's a whole nother thing when people are trying to use the little power, our buying power that we have in order to make companies who use us, culpable for what they do in politics, which directly affects us. The reason why there is no grocery store in this underserved area. And mind you, Rouse's has been around New Orleans for years, and you're just now deciding to put a store in Central City. Oh, and let's not forget that the hours are Monday through Friday, as if they were open on Saturday and Sunday, they might get robbed. So I feel like to an extent, we need to create a separation between boycotting things for real reasons and canceling people over bullshit, which happens more often than not.
Right.
Because see, to me, the real cancellation comes when you stop buying the products, when you stop listening to the music, when you stop watching the TV show. Hey, cancel BBW people. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, if you really want to impact it, you got to make up in your mind that I'm not going to just complain about it. I'm done with it.
Right.
So do we feel like cancel culture worked for Basketball Wives? Because it kind of looks like it did.
It's hard to say because people still watching and they still mad. So I don't know.
The ratings have gone down exponentially to the point where they said today they cut the season. They're not getting a reunion show. So to me, that sounds like your check got affected.
Well, I think when it comes to like Basketball Wives and even Housewives this season, I think it has less to do with cancel culture and just more to do with both of those shows have ran their course. You know, you also though have to be careful when you're a company or an entity or a business owner being so easily swayed by negative press, because once people realize, oh, that they're in control, like I'll never forget, quick story, they did a Love and Hip Hop Live or VH1 Live or whatever, and Big Tigger was the host. And everybody got on social media and lit VH1 up and lit Mona Scott Young up and was like, y'all know Funky not even supposed to be the host of their show. So the next week, they had me on as a special guest, but I remember overhearing Mona say in the background, she's like, you know, I really didn't want to bring you on because we've got to be very careful with letting people know that all they've got to do is vent on social media and we're going to acquiesce to the, you know, it's a very yin yang relationship. I'm all for canceling some shit when it's supposed to be canceled. But like when T.I. was talking about don't go to Houston's because those particular people had an incident, and I'm like, listen, okay, the manager at Houston's was racist, or the hostess they was dealing with, you expect me to no longer go get my Hawaiian ribeye and my smoked salmon because y'all had a bad incident with a specific manager. It didn't come from corporate. So I'm not boycotting the whole restaurant. I'm from Miami. We grew up on Publix grocery store. Okay, they saying that one of the granddaughters of the Publix heir gave some money to the Trump campaign. That's her business. Her political affiliation, they got shit to do with what I eat. Okay, I don't shop at Winn-Dixie. I don't buy meat out of Walmart. I will be continuing to go to Publix.
That's the first thing,
and that's your decision to do so.
Right?
I'm split down the middle by it, Monique.
I can't stand. Can I say something real quick? This is what I really can't stand: is when I do see celebrities that want to cancel a whole business because of their incident with that business, and try to think that we're stupid enough to just follow after what they're trying to do because they mad.
Yeah, like
but when it's on them, they want us to use our intelligence and all of that when somebody's trying to cancel their ass. IETI.
Go ahead, Monica. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm split down the middle. Cancel culture is not a bad thing, like Funky said, when it relates to the rapists, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world.
Most definitely.
It's totally appropriate. R. Kelly deserves to be canceled. However, I don't want society to get to the point where we're not able to express our opinions at the risk of being offensive. Like, you literally have to scale back, especially bigger bloggers. And I'm a blogger. I've been doing it for a long time. But bringing it over to YouTube, it's like sometimes I have to stop and think, maybe I should scale back a little bit about what I'm going to say about this. You can't be 100%, right? Because they so quick to cancel.
Very, very
then they write dialogues. 8 paragraphs in the comment section just to get it deleted.
Monica, that's if that truly is if you play into it. Because my people, the more they try to cancel me and talk that bullshit, the harder I come at their ass and piss them off more. Because I refuse to see. I refuse to believe that OG's issue on Basketball Wives is colorism. I refuse to see it. It's not. Bitch, you're unlikable and you're ugly. Okay.
We can disagree about that.
Oh, we're going to have to disagree about that, Dineva.
Because there's a reason why you feel that way.
But regardless of that, I think the one thing that even the people that disagree with me know and can respect is I'm going to stand up in it. That's what I felt. That came from my gut. You don't want somebody who said some shit on Monday and then Tuesday they turning around singing a whole different tune. And that is what this cancel culture is creating. It's creating, and then you have to ask the people who are outraged, does that little piece of bullshit ass PR statement, does it really suffice? And unfortunately, like I said, most Americans are stupid. For most of these people, it does. And that's the shit that baffles me. So we've now created an atmosphere where, Monica, you actually can go out and say whatever the fuck you want to say. Just have your PR statement ready for next Monday, and then all is forgiven. I don't want that.
Okay.
Right.
Franklin just apologized for cussing his son ass the fuck out. That man meant every word that came out his damn mouth. Every word. But that's the world we now live in. And it's funny because the people that it's going to hurt the most is us. Because white people love playing victim. So this shit falls in their wheelhouse. So now they figure they can say whatever the fuck they want to say, make a statement, and all is supposed to be forgiven. And that ain't how this works.
Here's my thing. I barely paid attention to the whole Kirk Franklin situation. But I'm trying to figure out, why did he feel as though he had to apologize to the world? Like, why did he?
Because the Christian community came after his behind.
He should have apologized to his son and kept it moving and just said, hey, I'm human. I'm a father. Sometimes I might fly off the handle with my words or whatever. Who knows what their situation is in their house? There's times where we all get bucked behind closed doors. So at the end of the day, I'm just like, that to me turned me off more than anything. The fact that he needed to apologize.
It's not even the need, it's the fact that he did.
Well, I feel like cancel culture, in my opinion, is really a social media thing. And social media, it has a very powerful impact, whether it's good or bad. I feel like cancel culture should be a personal choice, because it is so easy to go online and tweet a hashtag and all of a sudden you're a part of the movement and you're canceling somebody. I feel like that should be a choice within you, and within your daily, how you move daily. Like, okay,
Right.
canceling this person, don't go to their store, don't play their music.
Right.
So
It's a personal choice.
it's so easy to go online and comment hashtag cancel Monique, and you're a part of the movement and you're canceling this person. So I feel like the way social media has used this hashtag has made it really bigger than what it should be, honestly, in my opinion. Because I feel like you can get canceled for any little thing.
And like I said, let me reiterate the fact that more times than not, you really don't have any power. I've been doing this 11 years. I've probably been canceled 23 times already. And I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only true nature of a cancellation, in my opinion, and the only time you really have to worry about something is when you've done something wrong. Now, you getting caught up in rape stuff, that's worth being canceled. You calling people, racial slurs and homophobic and transphobic, that's worth being canceled. But this having an opinion stuff, and I'm saying this to y'all and other content creators out there, and you, Monica, as long as you ain't calling nobody no nigga or no faggot or nothing like that, you say what the hell you feel at all times. Them bitches will be mad for 3 fucking days, and they will come back to you. Okay?
And you know what? That's why I love you. That's why I love you.
Unfollow. I'm unfollowing you, and I always.
I love that.
I always write
Please
that.
stop and tell me that you about to unfollow me.
I say you
Make
don't
the
get-
announcement.
I don't make
Thank
my
you.
money on follows. I make it on views.
Okay,
So
every time you click back on this
while
shit.
unfollow,
Okay? Every time you click back on the comment and argue with me, bitch, you gave me a view. Thank you.
So if you really want to cancel me, don't watch.
Exactly.
But you love
They
me
can't do that.
But wait.
They can't do that.
No, they
Do
can't,
y'all
Bondy.
argue with the people?
I do. It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to tell you.
Yeah,
Because when I
yeah.
tell y'all, I do not read comments. Like, I am on Real Housewives of Atlanta, basketball. I am not in the comments. But if you come to my Instagram with that shit, and I'm on
That's where it
Instagram,
comes.
or if I'm on a live on YouTube and I see your comment, I will get your ass all the way together. But I am not going to read your paragraph compliment. I mean, your paragraph comment where you're basically projecting your issues onto me because you heard one little thing I said and want to attach all your life's bullshit to it. So yeah, no, I'm not reading that shit.
I'm gonna tell you when I cuss their ass the fuck out. When I make a post on Instagram about my dogs, but then you I saw what you did on basketball. Right. They be determined to get
Stay
your
on
attention.
topic.
They be determined to get your attention.
Yes. I posted. It was the day. It was during the season. I think it was the day that the fight went down, or something like that. And that day, I just so happened to post a picture of me and my family because we were out and about. And then I had one comment that said something about the show, and I said, "Not right here." I said, "Don't comment right here." I said, "I will give you a picture to comment on. Just give me."
I remember that. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, people stay with the point.
But
Right.
it goes to show you though how crazy some of these people are, and I'm not going to lie to you. I did not realize until I started traveling and doing live shows. For sane people, this is entertainment. But there's a whole demo of people who this shit gets in their soul.
Yeah.
Take it
And
serious.
they ride for whatever team they ride for. And it's like, team
listen.
whoever don't even know you, ma'am. Like,
Q. My comments today. Oh, you need to have this conversation with Funky Dineva. And I'm like, I tell them all the time, do not do that. At the end of the day, Q's opinion is Q's opinion, and I can disagree with that and have my opinion. You want his opinion, you go watch him. You want my opinion, you come watch me. But don't bring that shit to my comments like I'm supposed to be mad at him or his opinion.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen like that.
I hate
so
that.
y'all know, in case y'all thought we
I
was
hate
gonna be
that
on
too.
this
Oh my
argument.
God.
Or cancel by
I'm bleeping myself out for
association.
you, Monique.
You team Monique. Oh, you cancel too. I'm not reading your blog. I'm not clicking on you. Oh, you like Dineva? I don't like you no more. I got a problem with you.
And then you know what I hate too? When you, let's just say for instance, you like somebody who whatever, now all of a sudden you automatically co-sign all of their negative behavior. Simply because I don't agree with OG on certain things. I'm now a colorist. I hate black women. I think Latina women are better than black women. And I'm like, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. I just
how did they go there?
And I'm canceled. But my views still popping on my channel. Which one? Like, make it make sense, people.
This is true.
Oh my God. Hilarious.
But all in all though, I will say I like the world before social media because we have got to find some sort of equilibrium. Because to Monica's earlier point and to yours, we've gotten to a place now where we've lost authenticity and genuine thoughts, emotions, and expressions of those thoughts and emotions out of fear.
Yes.
And it also depends on what the movement is at the time. Because last year, I used to be able to say this word. This year, I can't say. It just depends on what movement. And there's so many conditional rules and so many conditional temperaments that I always tell people, just do you, because I can't keep up with the ever-changing rules.
Right.
Child, that was just a part of This Is Us. That's so funny that you say that. Later on in the episode, Randall and Beth, y'all know that's the black people on the show, so we always be like super clued in, and it was Felicia and Child, so y'all know. And their part was her basically not being able to say there. She would keep saying about her daughter's significant other, and she was like, Mom, it's there, it's they, and she was just like, okay, I'm sorry, like, you know. So even in that conversation and how they want to cancel you if you don't pronoun exactly right. And sometimes I'm like, people in their minds, they always put you in one box or the other, whether you like it or not. So when they talk about you, that's what they think of in their head. It's not to degrade you or disrespect your identity, but people will take it that way. And I've had people tell me, oh, I'm not going to follow you anymore, Bondy, because I was honest about the fact that shit is hard sometimes to commit to that mind frame when you're so used to the way things were before, where it's either one or the other.
Yeah. And you have to allow people to make mistakes. We have to be able to show people grace when they don't get it right the first, second, or third time, because people have been like programmed to think this for all their lives. So stuff doesn't always change so easily. So we also got to have that spirit of forgiveness a little bit too, you know?
Yes.
I definitely, I feel like at the end of the day, you would think we all know what it takes to get quote unquote canceled. But I just feel like we know the steps that it takes to get canceled. But I just feel like, you know, it's the word. People, it's such an easy word to just latch onto. And I personally want to know your opinions. Do you think as long as social media is around, that cancel culture is going anywhere? Because I for sure don't see it going anywhere per se, but as long as social media is around, I don't see it.
No, I think people will always be fake outrage. And I also think it's something that was going on before social media, but social media brings it in such a concentrated way, where it's everybody from everywhere feeling this way and able to access this information, versus back in the day where it was like a town or a village or your neighborhood or whatever. So I think it will always happen in that vein. But I also feel like I'm grateful for the fact that people do forget about things and eventually they cycle out, because sometimes people are wrong in their assertions, and they want, even us as YouTubers, I feel like they always want us to commit to whatever the wave is. And when we don't commit to what the wave is, they're upset with us. And it's like, well, I'm always going to be my own person and have my own mind, regardless to what the wave is. So you either going to deal with it or not. You know
what I would like to see, though? I would have absolutely no problem whatsoever with cancel culture being around to the end of time if we also were able to foster some sort of reinstatement culture. Because those times when you get it right, when you get it wrong, and this person has now lost everything, we need to use that same energy to be able to big this person up and let these brands know this is the person you need to hire. We're gonna come out, we're gonna buy product or whatever the case may be, so these people can get their life back.
Yes.
Because
I agree with that.
will cancel somebody, they'll be found not guilty, and then a bitch won't even say sorry down to the Twitter.
Right. And it's like they still think of you in that same way, no matter what the truth is. What Charlamagne say, the lie is more entertaining.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what they stick with.
Mm-hmm. Social media weaponizes people. It brings them together. They're no longer singular, sitting at home collecting a disability check. It galvanized a whole entire society of those type of people to, attack. And like you said, Bondy, the fake outrage is the fake outrage for me.
Yes.
It's like, please.
But speaking of fake outrage, it'd be from fake pages too. Like my thing is, if you're gonna have the balls to cancel something, you need to have. I mean, for me, this is it for me. I mean, you need to have I need to see your real life. Who are you to cancel me? That's how I feel about it because I feel like I get that shit all the time.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because if somebody makes some off the wall comment, sometimes I'll go right to about the reply, and I'm like, hold on, let me
go see what you look like first, right?
Zero posts.
Right.
I'm like, I'm just gonna block.
And again, and those are the people I think that have mental illness.
They do. They certainly do.
First of all, I'll probably stop being friends with you if I find out you got more than one Instagram page and it's not for a business. I had a homegirl one time. She was like, "Oh, this my real page and this my page I lurk with, huh?" And mind you, she's a school teacher. Bitch, ain't nobody fucking checking. You're not that important, man. You're just not.
I don't get that.
I
don't get that.
Not.
I'm like,
that shit is weird to me.
I can barely balance my 2 Instagram pages. Like
too much time on their hands. Too much time on their hands.
You got all these pages and you commenting as a let me tell you something. If you are within earshot of my voice or within my eyesight, you are a lonely fuck. All right, and something is honestly wrong with you if you have multiple Instagram pages and you go around trolling people. God is not pleased.
Preach.
No one likes you.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Band camp that played the flute and had glasses and braces and scoliosis, and it's now showing in your adult life. No one likes
scoliosis. Don't even
look here.
Scoliosis.
Look at the scoliosis.
Bitch, I was in a band. Okay, listen. Listen, I was in a drum section though. Okay. The cool
Me too, buddy.
You know, the band kids were always a little socially awkward. Like,
well, not really. Not here in New Orleans, because our bands, like,
culture.
Our bands do shit. They be in parade season and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a thing here.
It's different. Yeah,
I feel attacked. I have a little scoliosis too. Oh.
I'm a band girl. I played the alto saxophone and the flute, and I was a major. I
Come on, Lee. Yes.
I always use the flute because it's just like the prime example of like the flute is like the lamest instrument in the band.
I played the flute too, but that was in music class, not in the band.
Right, in class. But here's the interesting thing about the flute: it's one of the hardest instruments to play.
It is.
So I just think us that play the flute, we love.
That's why the nerds with the 4 eyes and the scoliosis play.
Don't.
It's all about the sax.
Now what's your degree from Florida State University? Calling nobody no damn nerd.
Baby.
And if you ain't really got no musical talent, like if I was in the band, no shade, I would have to play the cymbals. That's all.
That's what I played.
You played the cymbals too.
That's what I played. And I did it behind a girl, but it was fun.
I was just about to say I never understood the people that play the cymbal. I'm sorry.
Really?
At one part.
An important part.
It's more than that though.
It was a thing. Like we twirl the cymbals and do all that. And I had a crush on the girl who was, the major one at our thing. So I joined the band and her section because I liked her. And that's how that happened. But no, it was like the best part of our little, our little drum thing. You know, them girls, ooh, yeah. Good times in Sweet Valley High. Listen.
When we used to have band competitions, they used to be lit. We used to have so much fun on the bus.
Yes.
Stop playing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for the super chat. I'm scrolling through these chats.
But you want to know something? So a fan wrote at the bottom. She wrote cancel culture or consequence culture. Good question. And
I like that.
There's I think that's kind of what we touched on, not so succinctly. Yeah, our outrage with Bill Cosby, and I'm glad she said that, which brought me to this. What do y'all think about canceling somebody when the cancellation of them affects an ensemble of people? Case in point, Keisha Knight, Pulliam, and all those different people from Cosby Show. Let's not pretend like they've had a steady influx of work since that show. It's here, there. So they probably depend on those quarterly royalty checks for their well-being. When Cosby stuff did what it did, it not only affected him, it wiped out their incomes too. So
yeah.
Do we cancel?
I feel like we can separate it. To me, I can separate Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show.
Right.
I feel like, especially when it comes to artists, because I tell people all the time, I still listen to R. Kelly when I feel like it.
I do too.
We're not
just about to ask you that.
The music is applied to my memories in the moments in my life. And there are certain songs that I am not willing to give up because now we have a different understanding than we did when I fell in love with the song 20 years ago. Right. So for me, I just kind of feel like he should go to jail. But if people want to listen to the music or people want to watch the Cosby Show, they should be able to do that. And all the other people involved still should be able to collect their check. I mean, if you in jail, you in jail. To me.
Now, correct me if I'm
you think about it like this. Think about it like this. All the movies and everything that Harvey Weinstein had a part of, are y'all people gonna stop watching those movies and films?
No, exactly.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna stop playing them either.
I was just about to say that. It seems like it's always people of color. We just get tricked. Right. And we fall for the okie doke because there is so much scandal that comes out on some of the more Caucasian shows. And you don't see those shows getting canceled. They still play all them reruns. They're still on air. And it's less and less of us on air because of one incident involving one person or however many incidents involving
like Sharon Osbourne. I was like, how y'all gonna take the whole show off because of her? Put her ass on hiatus.
Right. That don't make no damn sense. Yeah. That don't make no sense.
Yes.
We need to go. Continue with the show.
I feel like people are able to separate the person from the art or whatever it is when it's convenient for them. Me personally, like Bondy, if an R. Kelly song comes on, I'm more so vibing to the lyrics, not because I think he's an amazing individual, but he's a musical genius in my head. And I just like how Funky was bringing up the Cosby Show. I know there's people who are like, well, I'm not watching it no more because I can only see what I've heard about him whenever I see him on my screen. And I just feel like, people have to learn how to separate the person from the action, not approving what he did, obviously. But when you think of the Cosby Show, you think of a good time and you want to think of that nice memory. But I just feel like they do it when it's convenient for them.
Right. And what the heck is going on with Dr. Seuss? I'm like, wait, what happened?
Some of the books were
preemptively, they went and just pulled 6 books that had some racial overtones or figures that could be viewed as racist. But you got to also understand those books were written in the 50s. And so things that were acceptable then are not acceptable now. Nobody called for them to be canceled. They just preemptively did it, then announced to the world that they did it, and catch these teas. They sales skyrocketed. From all the press that they got for announcing that they did that, their scales on Amazon skyrocketed.
Sound like a plan to me.
But see, that's the prime example, though, of taking audit and honest self-inventory and seeing where you can make some adjustments before your ass get canceled. I actually applaud them for doing that, because it's not like somebody read a book and got outraged and then took to social media. They preemptively said, we recognize, we've done our work. And that comes along, I assume, with a certain level of top-level diversity, because there are things that are offensive to us that white people just don't know. And you can't hold them accountable for the things that they don't know. But obviously, they must have had a black girl, sister girl, Tamika, on the publishing team. And she was like, listen, y'all, I read through this book. I feel a little way. And they pulled them.
It's funny that you said that, and I'm just really quick because I'm a behavioral therapist and I work with children. And see, I didn't even know the whole backstory to all of that. And I can admit, like how I was saying, cancel culture is toxic. As soon as my kids picked up a Dr. Seuss book, I'm like, oh, we're not reading that without even knowing the backstory. And that's how quick you can join the bandwagon.
And I know what the fuck going on.
Something you don't even know what's happening.
And so you don't rob them kids out of green eggs and ham. Look at you.
That's why I had to ask. That's why I've been asking people and nobody knew. And I'm like, look, I'm not gonna stop at reading one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, my kids love Dr. Seuss. And I grew up off of Dr. Seuss, and that's why I love books that rhyme, and that's how Binder Time Stories came about.
Listen, the Once Upon a Time in me was so excited when I saw that. I said, "Oh, this is cute." I liked it. I was kikiing when I was watching it.
Very Dr. Seuss inspired. I love a rhyming book. I'm a rapper. But yeah, so I was wondering, when is it appropriate to cancel? If we could talk about that, because I think people are mixing up the concept behind a boycott, and then they mix it up with cancel culture, and it's like, maybe it's the new generation, maybe it's us. We're not really understanding the difference between a boycott back in the 50s and 60s versus cancel culture today, because there is a clear difference between the two. Right. And I feel like if we can get behind a movement, if it's something that is affecting our community and we're standing up for our community, then that's something that we can stand behind and come together and do it to make our lives better, not to just hurt somebody or hurt an individual, then move on to the next, Mm-hmm. And it seems like it's a lot of that going on these days.
I like the cancel consequence, i.e. Sharon Osbourne. Okay, these are the consequences that you have faced due to the things that have been reported and the things that you have said and the way that you acted on air. Mm-hmm. We are going to give you the consequence of removing you from the show.
Right.
I
agreed with that. And Pierce Morgan.
To be honest with you, the rubric for being canceled is already written. It's called your company's HR manual. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are in a position of power and are abusing power, yes, there should be a consequence. You should be canceled. If you are, things people should not be canceled for. You cheated on you're the head of a network. You cheated on your wife and had an outside baby. That's a personal matter. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what happens is we have these movements. And so now it's the girls rock movement and Me Too movement. And so because that movement's got so much going on, this man who cheated on his wife gets swept up into that. Now you're asking for him to be removed from his office. Why? Because he stepped out on his wife?
Yeah.
So we just got to. Yeah. So personal matters should not be one.
Yeah.
People's opinions should not be another. Because I'm going to tell you something. Like, looking at the talk with Sharon Osbourne, I'm not talking about the back stuff with Holly Robinson Pete. I'm not talking about all the back stuff. Just on that one episode, I have no problem whatsoever with what she said. She said she don't see racism. Pierce isn't racist. That is her opinion based on her experience. Who am I to tell her any different? Now, I do have a problem with the way she talked to Cheryl Underwood. That's a whole separate conversation. But just on its merit alone, based on her saying, I don't see it, I don't think there's racism, just because I don't like it, don't mean that lady should lose her job. You know what I'm saying? Based on that. But when they investigating this whole, she's gonna get canceled. That's
right. Okay.
I just use that to explain, if somebody has an opinion that varies from yours and you don't like it and you find it to be racist, maybe it is. But that's that person's opinion. They should be allowed to have it.
Right. I'm not going to cancel somebody or some situation until I understand everything that's going on. Because somebody just asked actually in the comments, what were our opinions on T.I. and Tiny. I don't know anything about all of that. I have not kept up with it. So I'm not going to just jump on the bandwagon because I hear so many people saying whatever. I need to know all the facts and then come to my own opinion, my own conclusion, and then take it from there. And I think so many times I learned a valuable lesson. Even when I first joined Housewives, I never had Twitter or Instagram before I joined the show. So I'm on Twitter and I was just retweeting because I didn't really understand how the mess worked. But then I was retweeting stuff without reading the full article. And I had people like, no, you can't do that. You know, you got this platform, you got all these followers. If you do that and you didn't read the article, then people are going to think that you agree with what was in the article, this, that, and the other. And that taught me a very valuable lesson to make sure that I know what it is that I'm putting out there on my platform or my page and have done my research, or just don't say anything. You know,
right. That's why I don't do GoFundMe's and all of that. Don't hit me up for that. I'm not doing that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But what I will say is I've never and I will never cancel people. I don't cancel people. And I've said that for a very long time, since back when the R. Kelly thing happened. Everybody was mad at me. I was like, I do not cancel people. I just don't. I feel like ultimately, like Jay said, it's a personal decision who you allow on your timeline, who you allow in your life, who you allow in your ears, in your spirit, everything. It is up to you. So if you don't want to deal with somebody, that is your prerogative. But the overall idea that you being upset about something should mean a person should not be able to have whatever God has in store for them, that shit is crazy to me. And I want y'all to stop, because I feel like I was talking about this with how they were mad at Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B for their Grammy performances. Like, oh, this was disgusting and all of that. And it wasn't just the Candace Owens of the world. It was also black men who want to make these women responsible for all the depravity in the world. And it got me so upset, because I was just like, this is the attitude that y'all put on women every day. Yeah. This attitude that everything is always our fault. A woman being sexual is somehow now the reason for everything, and y'all want to cancel them, and y'all feel like they shouldn't have what they have because of how you feel. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree. Because that's what they want to see. Those executives want to see that. Those people that's running on music, that's running the music industry, that's what they want to put out there. And I know firsthand. Back in the day when I was pursuing a career, the reason why they did not give me the deal was because, number one, I wouldn't sleep with the fool that was trying to offer it to me. Number two, he wanted me to be over sexualized, and that wasn't me. He wanted my music to be raunchy. I said, no, I'm not willing to do that. So I just kissed that dream goodbye. You know, so I just feel like people need to just, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Right. I don't have my kids watching that. I don't listen to it. They don't listen to it either. That's what it is. I'm parenting my children. Right. So I'm not looking to the TV to do it, you know? Right. So people need to start getting back into their homes and just like, you set the boundary for what you want to do. If you don't like it, don't look at it. Because we grew up with all of this. Like, I grew up on Trina and everybody else, and we turned out perfectly fine. Right.
Like, in my right. I you know, and to some people, I may sound like the biggest hypocrite, because yes, I am of the Trina, Little Kim generation, but me personally, as an almost 40-year-old man, when I look at all the pussy popping and rolling on the floor in a handstand, I don't like it. I don't. Yeah. But I also, when I find out Cardi B is going to be on at 8:00, I turn the channel. You got to realize, just because I don't like it doesn't mean somebody else shouldn't be allowed to. There's a market for everything. It's just my personal preference. Okay. I don't watch it, and I don't have to scream, I'm following Cardi B. I'm unfollowing. Like,
and I love shaking ass. I'm from New Orleans. It's a part of my culture.
You know, I think it's one of those situations where, and I'm just speaking on everybody as a whole, we have to stop being so invested with people who are not in our household, who we do not know personally. Yes. Yes. Because I read something the other day, Tiffany Haddish had made like a comment about Nicki Minaj, said she was rude or whatever. That was Tiffany Haddish's opinion off their interaction. Next thing you know, these stands, the Barbs, everybody canceling Tiffany Haddish, bringing up old things from her past. And I just feel like that's a prime example. When you are so obsessed with other people's lives, it becomes super toxic. Like, the cancel culture community is toxic as a whole. And I just feel like
Barbs is toxic.
Oh, okay. Yes, no discussion.
I said it. Y'all be in my lives.
You know,
y'all crazy.
I think you just got to know how far to take your level of outrage, and it comes down to, like, you know, I think it's like you said, Funky. It's kind of like, come on, like, there's a place that we can't go with it, right? You can have an opinion about whatever it is. For me, I love the fact that people are invested in these shows. They're invested in the artists. They have an opinion. They are passionate about it. But I think it gets to a certain point where you start calling people, you know, all kinds of B's and F words and all kinds of other things because they don't agree with you. I think that's the part where it gets crazy. And then when they start looking up stuff from the past to bring out to make that to shame that person for something that they did 17 years ago. I hate that. That's the stuff that I hate.
I want to make a comment because people get me confused sometimes. Sarah Tharp says, I disagree with Funky. Women have the right to be free, sexually open, just like men do. Let's normalize feminine sexuality and stop shaming women for their sexuality. You're absolutely right, Sarah. They do. And that's what I'm saying. They have the right to do it, but I also have the right to not like it. I also have the right to think that they're whores for doing it. I also have the right to have whatever, to think strippers are dirty. And it's my opinion, but I don't want them to close strip clubs, and I don't want them to say, perform. Somebody like all that Puerto Rican ran through pussy busting their face. I don't. Okay,
you have a right, Bonnie, to feel that way without being judged.
I'm not saying boycott her. I'm not.
Can you let these strippers make their money?
I'm about to tell you.
You and your man like it, and I want y'all to have it. I'm man enough to turn the channel.
Right. See,
that goes both ways.
But I am in full support. I do recognize that we live in a patriarchal society, that men get away with things sexually that women don't. I 100% acknowledge that. I agree with it. I also can't help feel that some of it is whorish. And maybe I need to unlearn that. Maybe I need to.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with feeling that way, and people on the other side of that opinion accepting it, because it goes both ways. Just like you respect them busting it wide open on national TV, you're just saying, "Look, I'm gonna turn the channel. I don't want to see it." There's nothing wrong with it.
The only thing I would ever ask is for people to ask themselves why they feel the way they do when they notice that there's an obvious difference. That's the only thing I'll say. Why do you feel like it is, it's horse shit? Like, okay, why is it horse shit? Why exactly is it horse shit?
Well, because Bondy, I don't have my own head too far up my ass to give the honest answer, which is we live in a patriarchal society, and that was the way I was indoctrinated and conditioned.
Yeah, and I can
said there may be some unlearning for me to do. But I'm 37. It took me 37 years to get to this place. It may take me another 37 to unlearn it.
We're always growing, and that's the thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you ask, what else, it's just like that's my only thing. Just think past why you feel the way you do sometimes to get to the bottom of it. And I don't mean just you. I mean people in general. Why they feel, because our biases and prejudices and how we feel about things comes from a certain place. And I feel like sometimes those things are tied to the patriarchy and to racism and all of that shit. And there's nothing wrong with accepting that you don't want to see nobody popping pussy in his face. That's reasonable. He don't like pussy. Okay? But I do. So I'm not bothered by it. And that's cool.
I know I'm like this. I love going to a strip club, but there's certain type of strip clubs that I like going to. I like when they do pole tricks. I like when they are very talented and they go. I went to King of Diamonds down in Miami before they closed down. Yo, they are talented.
That shit artistry.
That is hard. It was amazing. But then I went to an after hours spot one time in DC. It was like an orgy. I was like, yo, out of here. It was just all they was doing was just pop, 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 pop. Juices flying everywhere. I was like, this is not.
They didn't even wipe the pole down, bitch. Where the Clorox wipes?
Right.
Yeah, there's levels to everything. You know that. They got levels there's levels to this whole shit at the end of the day. So there's always levels.
I like those.
I appreciate the body of a man and a woman because I think it's beautiful. I think it's art. So I won't go to a male strip club. I've never been into that. I just that's not my thing. I don't like action.
I come from one of them families where they be having the strippers at the baby showers and shit. So child, they had a stripper setting me up at 15. I was like, this is so uncomfortable.
And you know what? Being from Miami, I'm not gonna act like I ain't been to a couple of those because I have.
I say all the time, Miami and New Orleans, bro. Our ignorance is the same.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Wow. I've never heard of that. A baby.
Oh yeah.
That's a common thing down here in Miami, Monique.
Yeah.
That's common.
Or the little kid birthday parties with the cartoon characters do splits and bust wide open.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Crown by Bria, for the super chat. I completely agree. If you don't like it, change the channel. Everyone has the right to have their opinion and the right to build their foundation the way they see fit. Yes, yes. Y'all, I want to go ahead and do this announcement real quick. Thank you so much, Mary, for reminding everybody. I'm gonna be hopping on over to my Not for Lazy Moms channel. To everybody that's watching tonight, I did want to do like a little surprise little sale. So I'm going to give everybody that's watching 15% off of all of the essential kits on Mila Eve Essential. So if you go to shopmilaeve.com, we have like 10 kits. Go ahead and just type in kits in the search and it'll come up, and choose whatever you want, whatever one you want. You'll get 15% off using the code Boss Squad. So thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. As always, our episodes are sponsored by Mila Eve Essentials, which is me. But no, this whole conversation was great. I mean, it just was irritating me as sometimes when I'm looking at social media, I'm looking at the comments, and I'm just a person where if I don't like you, I'm not going to follow you and I'm not going to comment. I'm just gonna keep it moving. So I don't
follow and move.
Exactly.
Put so much energy into something that they don't like. Just leave it alone. You know, like just move on. So,
but you know what it is? They dislike their lives even more than they dislike you. So even in their dislike for you, it feels like pleasure to them.
Yes.
So why do they have to tell you they dislike you? Why can't they just click off the?
Because they're powerless in the world, and they just.
It's a transference of energy.
Yeah,
that's what it really is.
In that moment, they did something.
It's in their spirit.
I made that bitch mad.
No,
I mean it's sad though. To write 8 paragraphs to have it deleted in a few minutes. I mean,
okay, because I don't even read it.
Monica, I can now with you in your voice. I just can't. Oh my God, it's gonna be deleted right after you said it. You just finished it deleted.
Camus don't know said Monique must have been at Stadium. It actually wasn't Stadium. I don't even want to put the club's name out there. I don't even know if they still exist. This was a long time ago, prior to me even having kids. Me and Chris went to this after hour spot. It's in Maryland, right outside of DC, and it starts with the letter F. I'm gonna just put that out there. I'm not gonna tell y'all the name, but that's the spot that I was like, whoa, I need to not ever come back to this spot. It was like the after hour spot where all the strippers went to make extra money. And it was like a whole freak show. I was like, this is insane. But it wasn't Stadium. I actually like Stadium. Yes.
I'm gonna find it.
Make sure I'll text it to you, Richie. Oh my God. So listen, everybody, Binder Time Stories is going to premiere on my Tea with Monique channel April 14th. We are doing an early viewing release date of March 31st. If you visit my personal website, MoniqueSamuels.com, you'll get more information. I'm going to release it on my Patreon account. So anybody that wants to watch it early and participate with like live shows after the viewing, I'm going to do that for whoever wants to do that early. So it's coming soon, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and make sure y'all follow everybody. Y'all can go ahead and say where to follow you. I'm about to go live at 8:15 on Not for Lazy Moms YouTube channel for Wind Down Wednesday with Riley Knox. Monica, All About the Tea, goes live with her teacups and her panel at 8:30 tonight. So make sure y'all watch that. And if anybody else has shows, if y'all want to talk about it, go ahead. But I want everybody to know where to find y'all. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, hey, y'all can just follow me on Instagram at J.E. Hinson, JAYEHINSON.
Yes. And I'm Mrs. Monique Samuels on Instagram and obviously here. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. We have a lot of people here. Go ahead, Richie.
DJ Richie Skye on Instagram and YouTube.
Yes, Funky.
Y'all know I'm all things Funky Dineva and MS Funky Dineva on Instagram.
Monica, All About the Tea here on YouTube.
Bondy Blue on everything.
Look, thank y'all so much for participating in this panel. This was amazing. Thank y'all. I'm gonna have y'all come back again. I love when y'all come through.
Hey, y'all say hi to Jay Lee. You
Jay Lee here
in the place. She just said hey in the comments.
Hey,
Jay Lee.
Hey, boo. Hey, Jay.
My girl.
Thank you for stopping by. Yes. Awesome. No, this has been amazing. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to the Boss Squad, everybody watching. And I'm like, anything else?
Your moderator is the shit. I'm gonna need to borrow you, Mary.
Yes, isn't she dope?
She is on
Mary
it.
is amazing. Yes, no, Mary is amazing. So thank you. Yes, thank you. Shout out to my moderator. Always on point every week. I'm over here trying to, y'all know I can't do two things at once. I'm over here like searching through, trying to find my Brandon situation. So y'all take care. I'm about to hop on over and y'all have a great night. I'm gonna go ahead and play this Binder Time trailer one more time for y'all. For those who missed it in the beginning, make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. See y'all later.
Bye, y'all. I enjoyed y'all. Good night.
All right, good night.
Once upon a time in a faraway land, Monique Popoff appeared with a book in her hand. She said, "I've got receipts, and tax time is here," while her friends looked real shook and shivered with fear. They were nervous of this book, had no idea what they'd hear. Screenshots, phone numbers, raw truth, oh my dear. They did so much dirt, families they tried to tear, but the reckoning is coming. Judgment Day is near.